SEO on the YouTube. Good, we are live. Let's see if those notifications went out.
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah. James Webb Telescope, 841.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Patrick John Welder.
1, 2, 3.
Morning, Nay.
Hey,
It's fight
good
day.
morning. It's fight day. Who's fighting? Is this the Paul fight? What's going on? Okay, so I've got my cat over here, and I kind of moved a towel in between me and the cat. I don't want to actually roll over his little paws, you know, because I've got wheels on my chair. I don't want to like get high and then start moving around and forget that he's laying next to me. But he's so comfortable, so I put a blanket in between him and the chair so I can't roll that direction. Aaron Brockovich is complaining that Joe Biden is gaslighting her.
Patrick John Welder. Yes, sir. If Jake wins, he will be a ranked boxer.
Oh!
Crazy for a Disney star.
Oh, is he from Disney, bro? I didn't know that.
It's really gone wrong out here. I've been out here down on the ground, and they're really frustrated why they don't feel that their agencies or their administration cares about what's happened to the communities. So it is very apparent.
Hey, dude. Oh, why did it stop? That was so weird.
They are concerned and not being seen or heard.
So that you make such an interesting point, and I don't know the answer to this, but you've been around this kind of thing before. You think that there's something specific that they're not being told? That's your sense?
Yeah, there is. And I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, come on. We're out here. What if 44,000 fish are dead? We've seen them. We've seen them out here today, aerating the creeks.
You know, we know the fish died, Aaron. We know. We understand that when that chemical goes into the water, it kills the fish. What else you got, honey?
They're removing stuff. The wellheads are locked. What's up? Look, you don't have to go any further, in my opinion, than a 100-year study that we all know the miners did for us. It's called The Canary in the Mine Shaft. Send the canary down there, it dies, might not be good for humans. You have dead fish, might not be good for humans. You have dead animals, might not be good for humans.
Aaron, humans don't live underwater and breathe the toxic water. Fish dying from a chemical spill has nothing to do with danger to humans. You're a psycho. And that's why Fox News is putting you on and no one else is, because everyone else can sense it too. People like me that have common sense, when we hear you speak, we shut you down and we run away. I really don't have anything else to hear from Erin Brockovich ever again. I think she's lost her mind and she's just seeking attention now. And it's too bad. You know, I'm sure there are toxins and I'm sure there's poisons and whatever. She's no fucking expert, and her fat mouth should stay shut and get a real expert on there that understands toxicology and spills and things like that. She's a freaking lawyer and an advocate. She knows nothing about this stuff. And they have her on like she's some kind of an expert. I don't know, there's dead fish! There's fish that are dying! Right. You know, Chicken Little. The guy whose science I trust more than just about anybody, Thunderfoot, he's like, really nothing to see here. Yeah, there's a little toxicity going on. Kids are getting rashes. You know, they're getting an itch. You might have a headache, or you might smell something in the air. You know, show me the bodies piling up. I understand it was a huge chemical spill and all that. We choose to put homes near these railways. We choose not to keep up the infrastructure. And, you know, Joy Behar made a really good point. I know people don't like it, but she says you get the leadership that you deserve. And, you know, you're voting people into office that are unrestricting these giant corporations and allowing these spills to just run haywire and get out of control. I know they're trying to fix it, but you can't fix stupid, and it's broken, and the system's broken, and this is just what we're going to have to deal with. And the Aaron Brockoviches of the world, they're just going to have to realize that nobody else really fucking cares, because this was 1 out of 1,000 fucking derailments. You know, this is the one, though. This is the one that's just, you know, that really makes a big difference out of 1,000 every year. This one spill, this is the one that really hurt people. You know, I know there's a woman with 5 kids, and she made her 5 kids stay in a house that was toxic. And then she goes on the news so she could tell, oh, I've poisoned my children. I've poisoned my children. Well, yeah, when the first one got sick, you should have taken the other 4 out of the home, too. There's no doubt that a chemical spill is a problem. There's no doubt that it kills animals, and there's no doubt that it makes people sick, and some people might even die from it. There's no doubt. This is like saying we shouldn't have cars anymore because a few people die in cars every day too. I mean, it sucks for Palestine. It sucks. And it sucks for every other small town or large city that has a derailment and a chemical spill. It does. But you guys aren't exclusive. You're not the first chemical spill, and you won't be the last one. And, you know, the fact that Aaron Brockovich is out there, you know, waving her arms around on Tucker Carlson isn't going to make a damn bit of difference, because they already went out there and cleaned up most of it. They burned off all the chemicals. They were transporting the shit out of there. They're doing what they know how to do. And the people that are right there, local, right on the spot, yeah, you're going to suffer. And it sucks. You know, maybe don't put your house near a fucking railway. That's what I would say. And, you know, legislation would be nice, not allowing railways to go near homes, or not allowing builders to put homes near railways. I mean, this is just common sense. You know, until we can fix the goddamn infrastructure, there shouldn't be houses near railways, and those railways need to be moved away from homes. You should start looking into this. You know, that's a big problem. Because, you know, Pete Buttigieg isn't taking care of the safety of the train systems at all. So you need to look at other answers to this. If the United States government isn't going to help slow down the amount of derailments that we have every year, and they're not, they're sending their money to Ukraine. They'd rather blow buildings up than fix the infrastructure here with that money. So don't look for them. Don't look to them for solutions. They have none. I tell you what, Aaron, you want to fix the problem? Start advocating to have people move away from these areas. Start advocating to have the railway move those tracks away from homes. You know, that's an easy fix. Since the government's not going to do the simplest fix, which would be to fix the goddamn rail tracks where they sit. That would be the easiest, smartest thing. Oh, and think of all the people you could employ. Inspectors and rail workers, you know, laborers. Wow, that's a lot of jobs to fix a lot of infrastructure. What is it? It's Sunday. I guess the people aren't with me on this one. That's cool. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm going to get high. You guys don't want to hear me speak. You guys don't want to engage me in conversation. That's cool. I'm fine with that, man. I watched a show this morning where it was the same thing several years ago in California, where by 8 minutes in, and I'm saying to my audience, I'm like, hey, man, I was right about you know, the universe always being here, and that it's always been here and will always be here. I was right about that, and the James Webb Telescope is proving it. You know, back when that guy was on Joe Rogan and I did that show, and I saw how angry I got, because, you know, even though there were people watching, nobody really wanted to say anything to me while I was talking. No one wanted to engage me in conversation about it, and I wasn't inspiring anybody to talk. I'm putting the content out there, man. If people aren't gonna consume the content, that's your problem. You know, the people that aren't hearing my words right now, that's their fucking problem. The people that are still sleeping, or the people that are, you know, out running around or doing whatever instead of watching the show or turning on their cell phone because they got a notification and they decide I'm not going to tune in today. That's their problem. You know, they can go on being stupid for the rest of their fucking lives. But I'm preaching nothing but truth, science, facts, data, and reality here every day. And, you know, the proof is a video that I put up years ago from California, and I've got it right here. Here, listen to me going off right here.
Say that everything originated, how did everything originate from the head of a pin, is assuming that everything originated from the head of a pin. What a stupid loaded question that was. And here's dumbass just lapping it up.
Joe Rogan.
Lapping it up.
Joe Rogan is dumbass.
Configured radically differently.
Dude, I was hot on that day. I was hot and bothered.
Yeah.
I was so angry that my audience wasn't being
What
supportive.
also is a heavy one is what caused the Big Bang.
And I was putting up some of the greatest content. I was like, dude, I told you guys this a long time ago. I was right. Here's the I told you so moment. This is where we get to celebrate and have fun and celebrate the fact that all my shit talking is
Patrick
paid
John
off.
Welder. I have you broadcasting on my Google Home. I'm listening while cooking breakfast.
Okay. Oh yeah, you were. What happened to my connection here, man?
Yeah.
Why would something smaller than the head of a pin
Yeah.
become everything that we see in the cosmos?
Yeah. So there are ideas for
Plead
the
the
answer
fifth.
to that question. Look, all of this is tentative
Right.
because it's very hard to do measurements that go all the way back to the beginning. We have astronomical observations that we need to be ensure are compatible with
How do I look
predictions of our
younger
future
now
and so
than I
forth.
did
So-
back then?
So we as good scientists
It's like,
do what needs to be
that's
done.
like what
to
I'm going to
try
look like in a
test
few
these
years
ideas.
from now.
But the idea that I think most physicists,
I'll be
or
overweight.
cosmologists
My
find
hair's all
at the
going to be
moment
long.
is that gravity can have two manifestations. The usual form of gravity that you and I know about.
Look at me
is the
shaking my
attractive
head.
version. You drop something toward the Earth. And
I'm
it
about
moves
to chime
downward.
in. I love
As
it.
the Earth and the
I love the
object pull upon each
exasperation.
other. That's the ordinary gravity.
Patrick
that we
John
experience
Welder.
every day of our lives.
I was just
But
thinking that.
Einstein's equations
You look
actually allow
20 years
gravity
young
to
today.
also be
Thank you.
repulsive.
Then that would not be gravity. Einstein should have come up with another fucking word for it. You know, everybody knows what gravity is. It's when you have a large object and it's spinning and it attracts things to it. Gravity. Right? Well, when it's
Jeff
the
Lund.
opposite, you come up with another
Yeah, dude,
fucking
you
word,
looked a
you
little scruffy,
idiot.
and now you
Oh,
look 10
gravity,
years
it's so
young.
mysterious. No, it's just gravity. This
Thanks,
other
Jeff.
thing, it's not gravity.
This other
you
thing?
morons just never came up with a word for it.
This other thing, it's not gravity. You morons just never came up with another word for it. I love that.
God, these people are so stupid. Yes. Here's Joe Rogan. Oh, you're so smart.
Bro,
you're
I
so
love
intelligent.
this.
And you're making so much sense.
I wonder how many views this video got on my main channel. Dude, 92 views. One of the greatest shows I ever put up has 92 views on my main channel. This was one of the greatest shows I ever put up because I was right. And there's this huge podcast, Joe Rogan, getting it wrong. And here's me, little dude, with no science and no scientists and no data and nothing, just using common sense, getting it right. And no support from anybody. Ah! No support from anybody, man. Oh, you guys don't want the truth. The world wants Joe Rogan. That's what the world wants. They
I
don't
just
want me.
love how much sense you're making.
Oh, God. When am I going to realize
Really?
it? You just give up.
It can push out.
I need to just give up.
As opposed to just pulling inward.
Oh, really? Is that what gravity
And This is
does?
something that we have never experienced.
Oh, well,
Because
oh,
the gravity created
Oh,
by
we've never experienced it, but because Einstein said it was possible, this motherfucker pontificates on it for 3 fucking minutes.
a rocky object like the Earth is always the attractive variety. The gravity created by the sun, again, a compact object is always the attractive variety. But Einstein's math shows that if you don't have a rocky object that's isolated in space, but rather energy that is uniformly spread through a region of space, that kind of entity yields repulsive gravity. Why is that important to your question? If the very early universe, that little tiny head of a pin that you're talking
The
about,
very early
if it was
universe.
filled with a uniform
He's such an
bath
idiot.
of this energy.
There was no very tiny universe. There never was.
Right, and if it was the pin, it was the head of a pin, how the fuck is it going to be filled with anything? This doesn't even make sense, man. Oh, this little pin head, it was filled with all this energy and then it exploded and that's the Big Bang. Really? You know, how about 2 fucking giant suns collided? You know, how about
Right.
that?
Two
That caused
galaxies.
the Big Bang.
Two galaxies
A
collided.
little pinhead, just little pinhead, he's floating, and then
You know, two
boom.
black holes fucking got together and hit it off.
You know,
There's so many
two
different
giant
explanations.
Entities collided. How about this? Two fucking fucking galaxies collided.
Oh, I love,
Two
dude.
black holes collided.
I love this, bro, because I didn't watch this morning. It's the exact same thing I just said now. I still think the same way I did back then. I love it. God, I'm still smart.
You know, two fucking things that should have never been near each other hit each other and caused the Big Bang.
Right?
Duh. I mean, I'm just spitballing here, guys.
Right? So simple.
But if it was filled with
And you know I'm right, and you know they're wrong.
subject to repulsive
And the James Webb
repulsive
Telescope
gravity.
just proved me right
Already saw-
again
oh,
yesterday.
whatever,
You
Bill,
guys,
you already
ah,
saw this. It's exactly what he's been saying. Of
wait,
course,
there's
you already
more.
saw this. Whatever.
There's so much more coming.
Pushes everything apart, causes everything to rupture.
He's gonna say it right now.
So the bang of the Big Bang may have been a spark of repulsive gravity operating with a tiny region of space that pushed everything apart.
Whatever.
And this concept
That's the
of
dumbest thing I've
repulsive
ever heard in my
gravity is
entire life.
theoretical. Have we observed any sort of element?
Trying to
in the
come up with an
universe?
explanation for something that
It is
never happened.
theoretical.
You know,
But-
he's trying to come up with an explanation for something that never existed. But he's going to explain it to you because, oh, maybe it was a little tiny bit of gravity that was mixed up with a lot of energy on the head of a pin. What?
It's at a level of understanding that I think most physicists would say causes it to migrate into the camp of established
Look.
understanding.
Are you ready to have your minds blown? Most physicists and astrophysicists out there, people that study the stars and the galaxies and all that shit, most of those people, I'm going to say like 99% of them, maybe more, have always believed in the Big Bang Theory. That all of us, everything that we can see and experience, all came from one moment, and that before that moment, there was nothing there, right? Okay, I knew that that was bullshit, right? I'm smarter than 99% of all the astrophysicists and the physicists and the stargazers and the astronomers and the astrologers and all of them. Me, the one guy that sits in his mom's house, right? I'm the guy that's smarter than all those people. I've got the evidence here from years ago to prove it to you that this is what I've always been saying. This is what's so beautiful about this moment right now. Because James Webb Telescope just came out with a new discovery.
Of how gravity works. So
A
number
new one.
You have Google.
Einstein's equations have now
I gotta
been
smoke a
tested
bong rip. I'm so
over
Same
jacked
difference,
up right
Billy.
now.
Same
a
difference.
variety of circumstances. The detection
Acting
of
like an
gravitational
expert.
waves just a couple of years ago is like
No law regarding
the
cannabis.
crowning triumph of
Cheers,
Einstein's
Jim.
math. 100
Cheers,
years ago, the
Jeff.
math
And
said
cheers, everyone that
it
might be
could
watching on the
ripple in
Rumble
fabric of space.
sphere.
100 years later, we finally
Let me see if I
detect
can
ripples in the fabric of space.
find
so we
that.
are very comfortable with any prediction that comes out of Einstein's mathematics. And right in the mathematics is
Hey,
the
Chuckles.
prediction of what I was just describing. You've got uniform energy in a
I don't know
region,
where the rumble- oh, here it
repulsive
is.
gravity. The other thing is, we currently witness
Okay,
that the
good.
expansion of the
Here's the
universe
rumble.
is speeding up, not slowing
Jeff
down.
Lund.
Since the 1920s,
Cheers, I'll do a dab
everybody
with ya.
thought that, yes,
All
the
right.
universe is expanding, but it will slow
Sounds
down
good.
over time. Why? Because gravity pulls things back together. You throw an apple up.
I can explain this real quick. Hey, what happens in explosion? Things speed up and then they slow down. So we're just at this moment in time when the explosion is still happening. So things are speeding up.
No
They
law
haven't
regarding
started
cannabis.
slowing down
Cannabis
yet.
isn't just
That's
for all. Cheers.
all it is he's talking about, and he's too much of a fucking moron to realize it.
It doesn't go
Cheers.
faster and faster.
No
It
law
goes
regarding
slower
cannabis.
and
Cannabis
slower
isn't just for
because
all.
the Earth's gravity pulls it back. Everybody thought that would apply to the universe as a whole. It's expanding, but expanding ever slower. The observations in 1998, culminated in 1998, which won the 2011 Nobel Prize, showed that the distant galaxies are moving away ever more quickly. The expansion of space is speeding up over time. It's accelerating. How do we explain that? The
That we smoked at the same time.
Yeah.
I noticed that too.
That's cool. Like simultaneous, going through time.
I just felt like it was time to smoke. I grabbed my bong. I look up and I'm smoking in the video too. Hilarious.
Yeah. Like a big bong you got. Like a big boy.
For all the people that are watching this show right now, let me just get you in real quick, okay? For years, and it's been longer than just a few years. Like a long time, like 8-9 years ago on my podcast, I told my audience, I was like, the whole Big Bang Theory is bullshit, okay? I'm sure there was an explosion, I'm sure there was a collision, and I'm sure it was local. And I'm positive that the universe has always been here, that it always will be here, and that the whole entire universe wasn't created from this one little explosion that we can see here from the Earth, right? That's what I've always said. Well, guess what? James Webb Telescope yesterday finds 5 or 6 more galaxies that could not have existed, that definitely existed, I should say, before the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, they're older. They're way out there. They're moving different directions. They've got nothing to do with our little local explosion, our Big Bang Theory. It wasn't that big, right? That's what James Webb Telescope just proved again. Now, they've already done it once a month ago, and now they've spotted a whole bunch more. So what does that tell you? It should only tell you one thing. It should tell you that you're watching the right guy, that I'm steering you in the right direction, that I'm able to figure things out, that all the astrophysicists and the goddamn thinkers from all time couldn't come up with the simple explanation that the universe has always existed. And those people that say, you can't get something from nothing, you can't make something out of nothing, well, I guess the universe has always been here, it's disproving you. No pinhead, no freaking, no intense gravity mixed with a lot of energy on the head of a pin. None of that. And that never happened. There was never a pinhead. And any of you that have heard that explanation, and that you've actually thought that it all came from this tiny little molecule or whatever, now you know the truth, man. And now you know why that was so unbelievable. And yet, so many of you are like, well, all the scientists say it's true. Oh, and there's a TV show called The Big Bang Theory. So, I subscribe to it. Yeah, it must be true. Because all the scientists on that stupid show probably subscribe to it too, because that's the name of the fucking show. The Big Bang Theory.
Theory. Yeah.
And I'm glad they called it a fucking theory. I'm very glad they called it a theory. Guess what? You got it wrong. Your theory is wrong. It got proven wrong. No pinhead. No freaking gravity on a goddamn energy sandwich. Whatever the fuck you're trying to explain. But it doesn't matter. All that matters is we saw this shit coming from so far ago. And because we've got common sense. Unlike any other people on the planet. We've got common sense. I don't need a book. I don't need a fucking microscope. I don't need a telescope. I don't need a scientist. I don't need anything. I just need my common sense. And with common sense, I ended up being smarter than every fucking scientist on the planet that subscribed to the Big Bang Theory. And so many of them do. And they still do today. Even though James Webb is proving them wrong. They're going to have to rewrite. They're talking about that. We got to rewrite books. Yeah, because you wrote lies down, man. Because this shit didn't even make sense. Our galaxy is this many years old. Oh, the universe is this many years old. What? That's a lie. You don't know how old the universe is. Have you been to the end of it? Is there an end to it? Of course there isn't. But you can't even think about that. There's places in this universe you couldn't possibly get to, see, or anything, experience in any way at all. Right? It's so far, you can't. So how are you going to say you know how it is out there? It doesn't even make sense. You haven't experienced it. You can't make claims that you haven't seen, that you can't prove. Just because, just because you got a 3-inch penis doesn't mean everybody else does. I think that's the best way I could put it into words.
The best explanation we currently have is repulsive gravity. We believe even today the universe is suffused with a bath of energy. We call it dark energy. We believe it's uniformly going through space.
There it is.
I like to think of it almost like as a Turkish sauna. It's like the steam filling the sauna, this energy filling space.
I'm going to start shaking my head here in a second.
We believe is responsible for the observations that the distant galaxies are rushing away faster and faster over time. So it's circumstantial, but the case for repulsive gravity is quite strong.
And what would have caused it?
There it is. I'm like,
That was his thing. The case for repulsive gravity is quite strong. Look, man, the Big Bang happened, right? Long time ago. There's an explosion. It's in space. So it's slower, right? And things are still accelerating because they're still accelerating from the explosion. That's all that is. Duh.
Duh. Very simply put, it's an explosion in super slow motion that's speeding up still. It's still exploding.
I think, you know, they go on and on and on. It's boring, and I really don't have anything else to say about it. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that down.
I was done at that
And
point.
we're gonna move on to some other things here.
23 minutes in, I'm done. I proved my point, I guess. I don't understand this connection issue. I've got this massive bandwidth. I don't understand why YouTube is having... Oh, there's my Beazle on the couch behind me. Oh, my Beazle. My baby Beazle. What is going on with the frickin' YouTube, bro?
The Big Bang happened and
Twitch
no
is-
one saw it. What the fuck?
Doing that to me lately. Twitch,
Dude,
and not YouTube.
what the fuck is going on? I'm broadcasting.
Jeff Lund.
I got everything's working
May
fine.
summed up the entire scientific community with the word DUH. LOL.
I can't believe this is happening. Look at this. It keeps going to a black screen.
Nobody
And if
did
I
the Big
just
Bang
do
thing.
that-
Nobody was here for that, pal.
If I just
Hey,
make
happy
it small
420,
screen and
I'm
make it large screen again,
Holy
it starts
shit.
playing again. What the fuck is that?
No law regarding
I got
cannabis.
what,
Cannabis
8
is
processors or 16 processors or something in this computer? I gotta smoke again because that dude's smoking. He makes me want to smoke. No law. He's cool, man. That guy's cool. No law regarding. I mean, he's
Yeah.
angry, but he's cool. I like him. I kind of like him. No law regarding. Look, it's
Yeah.
frickin' Circle of Death again. What is that? No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, Jim. Cheers, Jeff. Cheers, everybody on the Rumble sphere.
Oh, man. Cheers.
I'd point to it on my shirt, but I'm not wearing it. No law regarding. I miss my old dollhouse shirt, man.
OG 420 Jr. Cheers, Nay.
Dude, what is up?
No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't isms for all. AC back on. It's hot. I mean, it's not as hot today as it was yesterday. You're going to die. I'm just saying, you know, practice a little bit of social responsibility so that if you do catch it, you don't accidentally give it to an old person who you love. And I don't even mean a family member. Do you know how often that I am just out and about or something and I'm just in contact with somebody who could die from this thing? And I realize that.
That's all. That's common sense.
You know, for starters, my mail lady, she's
Here it goes again. Dude, what the fuck is wrong? Let me see.
older,
What
and if she
fucking
were to
shit
get this
browser?
thing, she
Okay,
would
hold on.
probably
Let me
die.
try another browser.
that and the
25.
fact that she's a cigarette smoker.
25 minutes.
Contact with somebody who could die from this thing. And I realize that.
Jeff Lund.
You know, for
It's
starters, my
YouTube's
mail
old
lady,
algorithms. They're
she's
still trying
older,
to throttle
and if
you
she were to
back.
get this thing, she would probably die.
You
But
think
that and the fact that she's a cigarette smoker.
that's how they get people to not watch
should have
my
said
show? They start running this fucking circle of
You know, if
bullshit.
she catches COVID, she's probably fucking dead.
I've been
And
meaning to
I feel
call
like
her,
I
actually.
have a little bit of responsibility and love towards her that I should be safe with myself so I don't accidentally give it to her. Now, I'm worried about myself, too. Don't get me wrong. I see myself getting killed from this thing as well. Hand sanitizer, that's good, buddy. You have a mini
COVID
split air
days.
conditioner.
I was
You
fine.
never noticed that before, Billy?
What year was this?
Baby died at one from the hospital from the Rona the other day. Really? A baby?
Rona.
1-year-old baby?
This was
Exercise at home.
2 years
A
ago.
circle.
It says. It's that. See, YouTube doesn't give
Right,
you a
you
fucking
live on a
date
cul-de-sac?
on the because
I'm
they
not
suck
killing my
dick
mom.
now. Some re-engineer. Really, it used to be if you went to a fucking YouTube video, man, and you looked under the video, it would say the date that it was posted, because it's like a log, it's like a record, and it makes sense to see the exact date. It helps you with data tracking things down, finding out what and whatever. It's just makes sense. Some re-engineer over there at YouTube thought it would be a great idea to not do that anymore. And they actually re-engineered it into doing, hey man, instead of saying the exact date, let's just say, it was about 2 years ago. Yeah, that's fucking helpful. But that's a re-engineer at YouTube. And then don't forget all the fucking dumb cunts at YouTube that once they made the change, they sat there silent and thought it was a good idea. Yeah, we don't need an exact date on our videos. You want the exact date, you got to go into your fucking log and go into your video thing. You can't just look on a video and see the goddamn date of it anymore. It used to be right underneath the fucking video. It would say the name of the video, and then, right where it says streamed 2 years ago, it would just give the date. And I think it might have actually given the time. I can't remember. But it gave the date. But, re-engineers at YouTube, because, these are the kinds of minds that are taking over. The ones that are turning AI into the next Terminator movie intro. As pictured on my desktop here.
William Robertson. So how fast is the Earth spinning?
Okay, Google. How fast does the Earth spin in miles per hour?
Roughly 1,000 miles per hour. According to Scientific American, the Earth rotates once every 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.09053 seconds, called the sidereal period, and its circumference is roughly 40,075 kilometers. Thus, the surface of the Earth at the equator moves at a speed of 460 meters per second, or roughly 1,000 miles per hour.
1,000 miles an hour. So we're literally moving faster than the fastest car.
Right now.
Just sitting on our asses.
I've had this
Faster than the fastest sport bike. We're making it look like it's standing still. We're going so fast. In fact, there isn't a car or a sport bike on the planet that could get on a road that went around
William
the
Robertson.
Earth and keep up with it.
So you believe right now you are spinning 1,000 miles per hour?
God, you're a fucking idiot. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and block you. All right, flat earther, fuck off. Get out of here. Wow. Bye, William Robertson. Bye. Wow, it's like I'm not even going to have this conversation with somebody, guys. Because you guys understand, I am the truth. I am the truth. If you're going to come in here and you think you're going to have a conversation with me, it's like, I don't know, man. I've got the power of information, man. I've got the power of the truth behind me. That makes me a god compared to you. You don't get to talk to me about such trivialness, such silliness. This is what the whole beginning of this video was about. Was me addressing the silliness of scientists not being able to just sit down and think through the fact that the Big Bang didn't create the entire universe, or the fact that the universe has always been here. You know, that's that mentality, and you don't deserve to have a conversation with me. So go fuck off. God, I really am better than you. Some people are like, you know, this is an opportunity where you can convince people who are sitting on the fence or blah, blah. No, you know what? Their opportunity is to listen to my show. That's their fucking opportunity, and I give it to you 3 times a day, every day. And you can choose to get the truth here, and you can choose to learn. And if you think I'm sitting here lying to you, then I don't have the time for you. It's like, you know, in real life, when you're choosing your friends, the people who you're going to hang out with, and somebody's just not making any sense, you don't hang out with that person anymore because they're not making any sense. You know, if somebody is doubting that the earth is spinning for any reason, at the speed at which it spins at, you know, for any reason, if they're doubting that, what's the next thing they're going to doubt? And could that affect you? Well, the answer is you don't know. And the answer to the second question is it could. Right? You want to take that chance? Not me.
No.
Not me.
I don't know.
So I disconnect myself from those kinds of people. I'm thankful that I'm able to do that in real life by not hanging out with people who are fucking idiots, and also by blocking morons from
Nick
my
Brown.
live stream podcasts.
Yep.
And you want to come in here and you want to disagree on science or whatever the fuck. You hear me saying something and you're going to question me during a podcast and you're going to make it seem like you know what the fuck you're talking about. This is what I recommend you do. I recommend you go do a little research, some legitimate sources, go listen to legitimate scientists and compare what they say to the reality of today's technology. If you're able to do that, then you're able to see what a fucking idiot you've been. But William Robertson obviously isn't able to do that.
OG 420 Jr.
You know, obviously.
Nay is light years ahead.
Just common sense in it, man. I am the god of common sense. If that is an amazing, incredible thing, well, you know, then I just got proven right by the James Webb Telescope again. Let's find the article. Shall we? Because this is, I told you guys, I was building you up to this. Again.
Megsy Williams. Morning, Nay.
Good morning, Megsy. All right, fair enough. It was on CNN this morning, and I figured it would be on their website, like right on the front page. But you probably have to go through the website to find it. Marijuana effects. Wait. What's this? Study offers concerning insight into how daily marijuana use can affect your heart. Oh boy. Here we go. Let's find out. This is a CNN report. Using marijuana every day can raise a person's risk of coronary artery disease, or CAD, by 1/3 compared with those who never partake. A new study found, because the person who wrote this freaking article decided to use the word partake because they're so professional at what they do. Whatever, you're an idiot. A growing body of evidence suggests that cannabis is not entirely without harm and may actually cause cardiovascular disease, said lead study author Dr. Ishan Paranjip, a resident physician at Stanford University. The study, which has not yet been published, will be presented Sunday at the annual meeting of the American College of Cardiology. Thus, the decision to use cannabis must be carefully weighed against the potential for serious heart disease, Paranajpe said. Okay. Coronary artery disease is caused by plaque buildup in the walls of the arteries that supply blood to the heart, also called arteriosclerosis. CAD is the most common type of heart disease, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Signs of the condition include having angina or chest pain, feeling weak, dizzy, sick to your stomach, or experiencing shortness of breath. However, for some people, the first sign of CAD is a heart attack, the CDC says on its website. Using once a month or less. The study pulled data on people participating in the All of Us research program. Administered by the National Institutes of Health, the program is designed to gather health information over time from 1 million or more people in the United States. When enrolling in the study, participants completed a survey on their cannabis use. The research team used that information to place those who responded into 5 categories. Daily users. Okay, are you ready? 4,736 people. They polled 1 million people, and they could only find 4,736 daily users of cannabis. So already, I'm taking issue with this study. So let's keep going.
OG 420 Jr.
Now this is what's crazy.
There's an article that talk about cannabis hyperemesis, CHS. There's no way it exists because I am a daily user.
No, that's different, bro. Hyperemesis is caused by when you use neem oil on your cannabis. It's not from the cannabis. Neem oil is known to do it. And these idiots won't, that do these studies, they want to make cannabis look bad. So they'll just look at the cannabis, but they won't look at how the cannabis was grown or what was sprayed on it. So that neem oil does not come off. It will make you sick. Fuck neem oil. The numbers go down. Look, weekly users, 2,720. What? Now check this out. And the numbers go down more. Monthly users, 2,075.
On neem oil, interesting.
We're not talking about neem right now, bro. We're talking about this. We're talking about something totally different. They found that daily cannabis users were 34% more likely to be diagnosed with coronary artery disease than those who had never used the drug. Once again, I'm going to say this. They found that daily cannabis users were 34% more likely to be diagnosed with coronary artery disease than those who had never used the drug. I don't know. Could it mean that maybe the people who are using the cannabis are also prone to smoking cigarettes and using tobacco or eating unhealthily? Huh. I mean, what are the other factors? Is this, what do they call this? Correlation without, what is it?
Causation.
What?
Causation.
Yeah. They say it's causation without correlation or something like that. There's a saying for this, which is just because you found people with coronary disease that use cannabis doesn't prove that it's the cannabis that's causing the coronary disease. So I want to see the science that shows that it's the cannabis causing the coronary disease, not these stupid numbers where they only ended up with 4,736 people out of 1 million that are daily users. I don't believe it. I'm a daily user. Jimbo's a daily user. Cyber Reload's a daily user. Freaking OG420, I'm pretty sure he's a daily user. Who else out there in my live stream is a daily user of cannabis? Give me a 1 in the live stream if you use cannabis every day. Give me a 1 in my live stream if you use cannabis every day. Let me know. Let's see how many ones I can get in the live stream from people who use cannabis every day. How many people? What? 13? We got 19
Stephen
people watching.
Running. 1.
Okay, Steve does.
Nick Brown.
does. There's 2 people.
1.
There's Robert the Connoisseur.
Robert the Connoisseur. 1. OG 420 Jr. Probably because they think the munchies will make you eat unhealthy.
There's 4.
But that's also false.
That's a lot.
OG 420
So you're
Jr.
telling me that out of a million cannabis
1.
users, out of a million people, they only found, less than 5,000 daily users?
Casper. 1.
It's not seeming correct to me. I know a lot of people that use cannabis every day. I know a lot of people who use a lot of cannabis every day. So for these numbers, they don't seem true to me at all.
Billy Ballantyne.
Hey, Billy.
Morning. 1.
But let's keep going with this bullshit study that hasn't been released yet, hasn't been peer-reviewed, because I'm reviewing it right now, and I've already got problems with it. This peer is having serious issues during the review. Let's keep going. Those who used once or twice in 3 months, 8,749. So isn't that weird? The numbers were going down and then all of a sudden the numbers went up when it got... That doesn't make sense at all. Those numbers do not correlate at all. They're saying out of a million people, 4,736 people were daily users. 2,720 were weekly. 2,075 were monthly. And those who used once or twice in 3 months, period, that was 8,749? I'm not buying these numbers at all. And those who never used, that's 39,678 people out of a million. The researchers then compared those categories with participants' medical records a few years later. They found that daily cannabis users were 34% more likely to be diagnosed with coronary artery disease than those who had never used the drug. People who used weed, oh, they're calling it weed. Wow, that's so scientific and professional. A word that means useless plant. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, that's great. Thanks for putting that in there. People who used cannabis only once a month or less
OG 420
had
Jr.
no significant risk.
They
the
have
study
studies that
found.
cannabis helps the heart, especially with circulation.
Of course they have. This is why this is so hilarious. Okay, now this is what they claim. The results held true even after researchers factored out other potential causes of coronary heart disease, such as age, sex, major cardiovascular risk factors, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, obesity, smoking, and alcohol use. So they claim they factored that out. Huh, how did you do that? You're telling me that the 4,736 people, none of them smoke cigarettes. Right? That's the factoring out. What's the number after you factored all that out? I know a lot of people that smoke cannabis that smoke cigarettes too. I know a lot of people that use tobacco when they... People that smoke, yeah, they smoke stuff. You smoke tobacco, you smoke cannabis. So I'm not buying this study at all, this study. And I can't wait for the peer review and the release of it. I can't believe that CNN gets to report on it before it's released. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Let's keep going. That's weird, too. There's a lot of flags popping up around this article from CNN. Lowest rating in 9 years. Hey, man, that should be their new logo. CNN. Lowest ratings in 9 years. Okay, so let's get back to this. So you're telling me if you smoke it once a month, you have no risk at all. But if you smoke it daily, 34% more likely of heart disease. Is that what you're telling me? That's what this study is proclaiming. And by the way, cannabis stays in your bloodstream for 30 days. So if you're only smoking it once a month, it's still in your body, doing its thing. Anyway, this is after, they factored out stuff. It says the study used Mendelian randomization to determine risk, which other studies on the topic have not. Panarajapi said in an email. The MR method measures gene variations known to be related to a modifiable risk factor to determine the causal influence of the risk factor. So in other words, they weren't just going by the sheer numbers. Here, my computer just froze up. They weren't going by just the sheer numbers. Let's take this off here. The waterfall. I wonder if that's the problem. They were going by this MR, they call it, Mendelian randomization, to determine risk. Doesn't that sound weird to you? I'll read you the sentence again. The study used Mendelian randomization, MR, to determine risk, which other studies on the topic have not. Paranajpi said in an email, the MR method measures gene variations known to be related to a modifiable risk factor to determine the causal influence of the risk factor. So wait, are you telling me that when you started this study from 1 million people, from the All of Us research program by the National Institutes of Health, you were getting gene data from them as well, from 1 million people? Huh, I wonder how they were collecting that data from 1 million people. That sounds extensive, it sounds expensive, and I'd love to see exactly what he did. I'm curious, While other work has also linked cannabis with CAD, which is the coronary artery disease. There are several potential co-founders that may explain this relationship. Our MP analysis suggests this relationship may be directly causal. Directly causal. What the hell does that mean? This is bullshit. This is bullshit. What I'm about to read to you is bullshit. Oh, I'm like shocked right now that I'm about to read you what I'm about to read. Let me pull this up on screen so you guys can see it, because it's such amazing bullshit. Are you ready for this? Marijuana and the heart. So they're already a bunch of racists that don't know what they're talking about, not even referring to it with the correct terminology, cannabis. And they're going to tell you about marijuana and the heart. Okay, marijuana and the heart. Let's find out. Why does marijuana appear to damage the heart and blood vessels? Appear? Are you ready for this? First, it increases heart rate and blood pressure immediately after each use, according to the CDC. What did we find out 3 years ago when I was checking my blood pressure while using cannabis on the live stream? I know Nick remembers this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. When I did dabs, highly concentrated cannabis use, and I would check my blood pressure right before and right after the dab, my blood pressure was reduced, but only a little bit, by just a few points, and then within a few minutes it would go right back to where it was. There was no rise in my blood pressure. That's a lie. That is a lie. We did multiple checks with that. So the CDC is lying about that. So this is the casual relationship that they don't even have a bridge to, man. It's a bridge way too far. But I digress. I've done the research on my own body. But let's keep going. Marijuana smoke also delivers many of the same substances. Here we go. The carcinogens thing. Here it comes. Here we go. substances researchers have found in tobacco smoke. These substances are harmful to the lungs and cardiovascular system. The agency says, wait. The agency that says that cannabis is addicting and has no medical value and puts it on Schedule 1. That agency?
17.
The one who has
The
to come
only
up with
rise in
some
blood
kind of
pressure comes from reading this
some kind
article.
of an excuse for putting it on that schedule, and you're wondering why this information is out there. I guarantee you somehow the funding came federally for this. Somehow there's even, and if it wasn't federally funded, it came from people who with a fucking narrative, with a goddamn intention, because this is all bullshit. And as I sit here and read it out to you, I'm amazed at how they think they can still get away with this. And CNN wonders why they have the lowest ratings in 9 years. They put up a bullshit study that an old man sitting in his mom's house can sit here and debunk just by anecdotal proof, evidence that you can find on this podcast. Wow, man. I'm like a laboratory. You know, and they're like idiots. They're like, you know, marijuana's bad, okay? It's bad for it causing heart attacks. And look at all the bodies piling. Oh, that's right, there's no bodies. There's no evidence to back any of this up.
Crawlin' 4 coins. The CDC lies?
Dude, I swear to fuck, you almost made me spit out my coffee. Thank you. That was great. Yeah, right? The CDC lies.
OG 420 Jr. Another one debunked.
Bro, let me just see what else it says here. All right. These substances are harmful to lungs and cardiovascular system, the agency says. Right. The agency says. And they're lying. So let's keep going. Smoking or vaping any substance. Here we go with the any substance, right? Including cannabis, should be avoided due to the risk of harm to the heart, lungs, and blood vessels. The American Heart Association warned in 2020.
Josh_G_17.
What was the science to back that statement
Roger
up with?
Erlenmeyer flask next to you to prove the science to them. Tongue sticking out.
Right? What exactly was the science to back that statement up with? You know? American Heart Association. Here we go. They're going to call it weed again. It's going to piss me off. The AHA's guidance released then pointed to studies that found heart rhythm abnormalities such as tachycardia and atrial fibrillation could occur within an hour after weed containing delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol or THC
Are they lying about
was
tobacco
smoked.
smoke being bad?
THC is the part of the marijuana plant that creates a high. It literally says this, guys, in a CNN article. It says could occur within an hour after weed containing delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. They're pointing to studies. Not naming the studies.
OG 420 Jr.
They're pointing to studies.
The people who made that article like to booze on the weekend.
I'm pointing to my 18-inch dick.
Josh_G_17.
I'm pointing to my 18-inch
They sound
dick.
so uneducated it's insane. Just stay out of this mess, CNN, you're showing your ass.
I'm pointing to my 18-inch dick. I'm pointing to it.
Mr. Blue 313
So,
Sexton.
hey, they're pointing to the study.
Morning, folks.
You know? So, that's about as real as my 18-inch dick. Hey, Bad Blue Jaws. So, other research has shown smoking weed, you gotta love this, that they're calling it weed, you know? This is like,
Billy Valentine.
because it's useless.
Was that the first time you've
This
ever
is why
read
they call it weed,
tetrahydrocannabinol?
people. This is why
That long
these
pen for
people are
THC.
calling it weed, and why you should never call it weed. Because they're telling you it's bad for you while they're calling it weed. Because they know weed means useless. They know it makes it look even worse. You should not refer to cannabis as weed ever again. CNN does it. They've got the lowest ratings in 9 years. Just go by that, okay? You could call it cannabis. Was that the first time I've ever read it? Tetrahydrocannabinol? No, it's just because of the way they have it, it says Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. It's all
Mr. Blue
it's all
313
squeezed together
spin.
as one word.
Tap in.
And it was just, I haven't seen that word in quite some time. So, here we go. Are you ready for this, though? Other research has shown smoking weed has triggered heart attacks and leads to a high, sex has triggered heart attacks too. You know what else has? Jogging. You know what else has? Fucking work, stress, fucking overeating, fucking not taking care of yourself, failing to exercise, eating the wrong foods, being scared out of your wits, going into a movie theater and somebody fucking pulling a fire alarm. People have heart attacks on airplanes. Pilots have heart attacks on airplanes. It happens, man. This is psychotic. This is you mean to tell us a lot of people smoke cannabis and at some point some of those people have heart attacks? Oh, it must have been the cannabis. Correlation without causation. Is that it?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Correlation without causation? It just kind of popped into my head because I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, causation is not correlation. It means the inability
Josh_G_17
to cause and effect relationship between two events or variables solely on the basis of an observed association or correlation.
Listen how stupid this is. Other research has shown smoking weed has triggered heart attacks and leads to a higher risk of strokes and heart failure in people with underlying heart disease. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? The people that are using cannabis and getting heart attacks were already showing to have heart disease, and they're blaming the cannabis for triggering the heart attack, man. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. Notably, the new study was not able to tease out whether different types of cannabis use, such as consuming edibles versus smoking weed, for example, made a difference in a person's risk of developing cardiovascular disease. However, since THC gets to the brain faster when smoked, the researchers argue future research should investigate various usage methods and their impact on the heart. What? Oh my God. Dude, I feel dirty after reading that to you. Yes, I understand that they lie, man.
Josh_G_17. I lost brain cells.
Right? And you'll never be able to get that time of your life back, you guys, and I'm sorry, and I apologize to all of you. But this has to be, you guys have to
Billy
hear.
Ballantyne. Coronation without Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Hey, you guys want some curtain rods from Amazon? Look at that. Ooh. They're selling
Matt
curtain rods.
Postma. So if you have heart disease, you shouldn't be smoking cannabis?
See, this is the problem, man. Ugh. This is the problem. Matt, don't believe everything you hear from a news agency who has the lowest ratings in 9 years. There's a reason they have the lowest ratings in 9 years. It's because they lie to their audience, Matt, and they just lied to you. And God, I'm assuming that you understand exactly what you just said, and you're being facetious, right? You're being like, well, that's what the article's trying to tell us? And I'm like, yeah, Matt, that's what the article's trying to tell us. Something that you'll benefit from if you have heart disease. The cannabis will help you. They're telling you not to take it because it's going to trigger
Billy
a heart
Ballantyne.
attack in you.
John Candy could sell the hell out of some shower curtain rings.
I'm going to sell the hell out of OG Kush right now. Check out this OG Kush. Why is this garbage? Oh, that's right, because I wanted it on screen for the record. So anybody that wants to go through and read the whole article, it's here for you to read through.
Stephen Running. Guesstimation.
There you you go. That is the whole article. It's full of lies, misinformation, disinformation, a study that has not been published, a study that I don't know if it's been peer reviewed, a study that is probably motivated
Matt Postman.
by big pharma or
Del
the government.
Griffith, what a guy.
This is all bullshit, that none of it is true. And I think we were able to almost debunk it sentence for sentence on this show just now. And I have a feeling that a lot of you are probably more comfortable. Del Griffith, what a guy.
Yeah.
You know, my friend's dad had a heart attack while he was getting high. And he asked me, he's like, bro, do you think it was the cannabis that caused his heart attack? And I said, no, bro, absolutely not. You know, your father was doing exactly what he wanted to do when he died. And you should be thankful for that. But don't let anybody convince you that that cannabis is what caused his heart attack. You know, people that have heart disease, they're going to have a heart attack sometime. It might be while they're smoking. It might not be. You know, if he wasn't smoking cannabis at the time, you would have said, oh, well, then, you know, it wasn't the cannabis because he wasn't using it at the time. But
shower curtain
he
ring
was going
guy.
to have a heart
Whoa.
attack anyway. Then what was it that caused it if it wasn't the cannabis because he wasn't smoking it at the time, right? Well, it was his heart disease, you know? He was a frequent user. He smoked every day. I was under the impression his father smoked all day, like I do. And you know, I've been around enough people, and I've seen people that have had heart attacks and things like that. And I understand, you know, I've seen more people die of loneliness and broken hearts and sadness and depression than I have from physically just, you know, having a heart attack. I mean, it's been people that were actually in pretty good physical condition that I've seen die of heart attacks or get heart attacks. And many times it's in the family. It's a family thing. It's hereditary. And that sucks too. You see these people, they know their family has a bad history of it, so they spend their whole life jogging, you know, and then they're jogging one day and they have a heart attack. And you're like, it was the jogging, you know? And you're like, no, it wasn't the jogging.
Nat Postma. Love you, Nay.
So, causation without correlation. Correlation without causation. It's correlation. You can't say one has anything to do with the other. I mean, yeah, they say they factored out cigarette smoking, and then they don't tell you how they factored it out, and they don't tell you what they were left with, how many people they were left with, and they also don't tell you, were there other factors that could have caused heart disease in them? And what's just the average regular person that just has heart disease? And aren't a number of cannabis users going to just have heart disease in their, you know? What about that? Is that factored in? You're telling me that the only people that had heart disease were the people that used cannabis, you know? Bullshit.
Nat Postma. I think it's correlation doesn't equate to causation.
It's correlation without causation, right? I don't know. Well, let's see if they said it's it's being released when. Has not been published and will be presented Sunday. That's today. So I'm assuming that it's going to be, I could put his name in Google and we could find it, see if the study's been released. Let's see what comes comes up.
Josh_G_17. Blanket blaming is so
CNN.
stupid. Did we not learn how inaccurate it is with the pandemic? Heart attacks caused by C0V and cannabis now. Billy Ballantyne. Curly Asian puts out taxation.
It's all the same article. I guess they haven't released the study yet. A growing body of evidence suggests. You got to remember,
OG
all of
420
these
Jr.
weasel words they use
Bong hit
it may contribute. And remember how they ended that one sentence? They were like, what did they say in that article? It was so funny.
People that have heart problems already or something.
Billy Ballantyne. An island nation poses as Croatian.
You know, once a month was 2,000 people, right? Daily use. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. I figured out the study, dude. I just cracked it. Are you ready? This is psychotic. People who used
Brian
weed.
Munoz.
Hey, Brian.
God morning nay.
People who used weed only once a month or less had no significant risk, the study found. So then you got to ask yourself, wait, how many people only used weed once a month? Well, this says there were only 2,075. How many people were using cannabis every day? Well, that number was 4,736. Do you think you'd find more instances of heart disease in a larger group of people or a smaller group of people? Common sense in here, guys. They've got a larger group of people that smoke cannabis every day. Of course they're going to find more instances of heart disease. There's more people in that group. Do it like this. Find the same number of people that use cannabis every day and find the same number of people that use cannabis once a month. The same number of people, and then check the heart disease numbers among the same amount of people, man. My goodness gracious. And you know, how much heart disease, they're saying there was no risk, so you found no heart disease in the 2,075 people? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It's like there was none. It was none. But man, out of 2,075 people, there was no heart disease. Give me a break. In the average family, you're going to find one member who's got some heart disease. You know? One person out of each family, probably. It's psychotic. It's so prevalent. It's psychotic to think that they screened 2,075 people and none of them had a problem with their heart or their cardiovascular system. Crazy. So that's it, man. And yeah, and out of the 40,000 people who never use cannabis, you're telling me there was no heart disease among those people? You know, what was the percentage among those people? You're not telling us that. Weird, right? There's so much missing in this study. It's supposedly getting published today, so I guess we'll wait for the end of the day and see if it comes out. I'm surprised it's not released on the internet yet. But when I put the guy's name into Google and the word cannabis and the word study and the word heart, the only thing that comes up is that article across 20 different frickin', you know, you gotta love the way a scientist makes sure that his research that's not even released yet gets released all over the mainstream media before anybody has a chance to see it, review it, or debunk it. Right? You got to wonder, why such a rush to get this out before you've even released the study? That's a red flag in itself. Wow. Marijuana increases heart rate and blood pressure immediately after use, the CDC says. They put that in a picture on the article, making it seem like that's part of the study, and it's from an older study.
Billy Ballantyne.
More bullshit.
You know someone's paying for these studies. And I'm guessing there are bonus checks if certain findings come to fruition. I'd want that bonus money.
I'll go get my mom's blood pressure checker, and it'll give me the heart rate, right? And I'll check my blood pressure, and I'll do it right here, and then I'll do a bong rip, and then we'll check the heart rate too. See, the heart rate, I don't remember if that increased. I wasn't really worried about the heart rate. I was worried about my blood pressure at the time. But this says heart rate increases too with cannabis use. It says immediately after using cannabis use, the heart rate increases. Really? Because I've experienced so many times that I'll take a bong rip and I'll just completely relax. My whole body relaxes. It doesn't seem right. I'm gonna go get the blood pressure checker. I think they're freaking lying. It's right over here. Okay. Here we go. Just gonna relax here for a second. And the bong is all ready to go. Got OG Kush in there. Now, if I wanted to...
Stephen Running. I use cannabis to lower BP before seeing doctor.
If I wanted to if I wanted to put my narrative and my own spin on this test, I would go for the True Black. I would put True Black in my bong because that is the heaviest, most depressing cannabis I've got. It will definitely slow down my heart rate and my blood pressure, I'm sure too. I'm sure. I've got OG Kush in this bong. It's not like that at all. It's totally different. So we'll see what just, OG Kush does. And I just wanted to relax for a little bit. Let my legs, I've been moving my legs around a little bit. I need to just not do that before I take my blood pressure. Okay. Should be good. Have my hand like this. We'll get ready with that bong. All right. And I'll have a notepad up so I can write down the heart rate and the blood pressure.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
This is kind of cool.
Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 159 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 92 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 78 beats per minute.
Okay, so 159 over 92, my regular high blood pressure that I'm used to seeing. All right, here we go. I'm going to do a bong rip, and then I'm going to take my blood pressure again and check the heart rate, which was 78 beats per minute. Cheers, Jiminy, everybody else, No Law Regarding Cannabis, Steve Running, everybody that's in the chats on the
Billy Ballantyne.
Rumble sphere. Billy Ballantyne, cheers.
Keep in mind that coughing causes large increments in arterial blood pressure, and it's accompanied by an immediate and rapid increase in heart rate for a few seconds. Nick Brown. Cheers. Megsy Williams. Cheers.
I'll make sure not to cough.
OG420 Jr. Cheers.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now. Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is
Lower.
152 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure
Lower.
is 90.
Heart rate increased, 84.
Mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 84 beats per minute.
My blood pressure, which is what's really important, was lowered. My heart rate did increase by 78, 79, 80 by 6 beats per minute, which isn't that bad, 6 beats per minute. But I want to just see, now that I've done the bong rip, we did the check right after, I want to check it one more time and see, now it's been a minute, 152 over 91. If you guys want to see it, So you know I'm not lying. 84. I should show you those, you know. Oh, but you can hear it. That's right. It says it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So it lowered my blood pressure, so the CDC's lying to you. And that's OG Kush, everybody. It wasn't even True Black, which I guarantee you would have a different effect.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
Billy Bong Thornton. Yeah, I read a study that the cannabis does something to the brain that lowers your blood pressure. That's why your heart rate increases. Does the same to me lowers BP and heart rate goes up.
Yeah.
Hash. Recently, I have completed and sent cannabis report to Cyprus and Turkish governments, reviewer over 158 scientific paper. Can I share what the National Academies of Sciences NASM 2017 says?
Your diastolic blood pressure is 83 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 86 beats per minute.
Dude, it's lowered my blood pressure immensely. The heart
Billy
rate's gone up
Ballantyne.
even more.
No.
Yeah. It does.
86. So it's gone down. So smoking cannabis has lowered my blood pressure immensely. It went from 159 over 92 down now to 145 over 83.
Billy Bong Thornton. What's BP now, nay?
I just told you 145 over 83.
Billy Bong Thornton. Damn.
It went from 159 to 145. All right, let's check it one more time.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
Billy Bong Thornton. That works better than blood pressure medication. Billy Ballantyne. I totally see that. My prescription acts just like sativa, but is supposed to calm me down. So it seems natural that sativa also lower my blood pressure.
Your systolic
Hash.
blood pressure is
NASM 2017
Stay
Cardiometabolic Risk Section. Relation between heart attack, stroke, or diabetic risks and cannabis is uncertain.
millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 86 beats per minute.
So it's 86. 145 over 85. In other words, it's staying low. It's staying lower than 159 over 92. It went from 159 to 152 to 145 to 145. 92, 91, 83, but now 85. It's gone up a little bit. The beats per minute were 78, 84, 86, and 86. This is just off of one bong rip. I could try another one to see if it lowers it even more. Or we could check the blood pressure one more time and just see if it's done anything different after, we've gone a few minutes. We could be watching this clock right here and seeing how long in between each checked. Maybe it's better if you wait, 10 minutes after a bong rip to check your blood pressure to see what the actual, maybe it takes that long for it to, or maybe the best of it, what I found was it seemed like it was an immediate and then it went back. That's what I found. So we'll see if that happens right now. So I'm expecting it to go back up.
Jimmy Carter.
Right now, but we'll see.
Check after 15 minutes.
I'm going to smoke before then, though. I'm going to smoke again. I'm going to check right now.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
OG 420 Jr. True Black Too Strong.
Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 144 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 86 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 89 beats per minute.
The heart rate's increased. The blood pressure has dropped. Well, the systolic has dropped another point. This is unbelievable. But the diastolic is going back up slowly, and the heart rate is at 89 now, has increased. So now another bong rip, and then we'll check again and see what happens. Same OG Kush, or should I try the True Black?
Oh, I wouldn't try the True Black.
Let's try the True Black.
I knew you were gonna.
Let's try it. We'll put that on top of the OG Kush. Oh yeah. Oh, it smells like a fine wine.
Billy Ballantyne. Now read another BS article and take it again.
It smells like,
Ha 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 ha
like
ha.
a Pinot Noir.
OG 420 Jr. True Black Too Strong.
Okay.
Jimmy Carter. Try diff strains.
That's what I'm going to do right now. Thanks for the recommendation, Jimmy. All right, no law regarding cannabis. Cheers, Jimmy, OG420, Billy, and everyone that's in the sphere. What's going on over there in the sphere, I wonder? Let's check in with the old sphere, shall we? The sphere. There's the sphere. Whoa. What's up, sphere? Baba Blue Draws, Political Outsider. Hello, Political Outsider. I hope you're still here. Mark 5050 wins. Yo. I hope you're still here. Holy moly, please subscribe to my channel. I'm sorry I didn't have the chat up. I'm not used to people chatting on Rumble, guys. Hello. If you're still watching, I'm so grateful. And I'll
Smoking
answer,
on some San Fernando Valley OG right now.
Chats,
Cheers,
guys,
Nay, and
Rumble.
Trendies.
All right, I got a little excited there, so that's going to up my blood pressure and my heart rate. So here, let me calm down for a second. Jimmy
Carter. I'm like 15 seconds behind. I type, you get 15-20 seconds later.
Well, then hit live on the show and catch up in the real time. You won't miss anything, I promise. Okay, can't do that. I'm getting my blood pressure checked. I can't be moving. The doctor be yelling at me right now. Calm down, sir. Calm down, sir. We're taking your blood pressure. I'll look at my cat. That'll calm me down.
Billy Ballantyne.
I got all worked up. I should have done
So
that.
it says just yelling can raise your blood pressure by 10. Of course, and raises blood pressure. Jimmy Carter.
Anger raises blood pressure.
I am all caught up on live, just far away, I guess.
Really? You're all live? That's crazy. And you've got that much lag. Okay, here. Bong rip. Should we check one more time before the bong rip and see where we're at? Yeah, let's see where we're at right now because I'm about to do another bong rip. So we'll just check it.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now. Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 146 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 91 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 93 beats per minute.
So I got my heart rate up to 93, so everyone can realize it's because I was dancing around and having fun, getting excited. When I started, my heart rate was at 78. Now it's at 93. My blood pressure is 146 over 91.
I love my watch.
So
It tells me all this stuff. Even checks blood oxygen. I tested it at the ER, and it was within 3 Ds.
the systolic is staying down. It's at 146. It went up 2, but the diastolic is 91, which is almost where it was when I
Jimmy
started.
Carter. Testing 1 2 check. 10:19 and 45 seconds when sent.
49 and 45 seconds. Yeah, all right. You're back. So it's up. The cannabis didn't affect it for too long. It lowered it for a while, but it's starting to go back up to where it was. So not 159, which is good, but that 92 number, bro. You know, it's back to 91. Now let's smoke this stuff and see what it does.
Okay.
Because I'm not expecting much, because that wasn't much. I mean, it brought it down, but only for a little bit, just like what I remembered last time we tested this. Cheers, Jimmy, Billy, and Political Outsider, Bad Bad Blue Draws, Mark 5050, Owens. I think we lost them, but Bad Bad Blue Draws over there. Cheers. Happy 710. Happy 420.
Cheers.
Jimmy Carter. Tokay, this is fun. Testing Sunday.
Definitely feeling the effects of that. And remember, I was drinking coffee before, but I stopped doing that for these tests. Okay, so let's see what's going on now. Let's relax here for a second. Okay, let's see how we did.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
Jimmy Carter. I say 3 points lower.
Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 148 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 90 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 86 beats per minute.
'86 blood. My heart rate is down to 86, where it was all the way up to 93. But let's wait because there's going to be a curve on this, right? So let's wait a second and do it again. 148 over 90. Here, I'll let you guys see. Yeah, I have a feeling now we should test again.
Billy Bong Thornton. Coal keeping logs, our very own trendy studies. Billy Ballantyne. Should you take your rectal temperature?
All right, here we go.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now. pressure is 142 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 82 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 81 beats per minute.
Wow, man. So the cannabis shows more of an effect after a couple of minutes. This has got me down to 142 over 82. This is the lowest on both.
Billy Bong Thornton.
Both.
Well, lowest yet.
On both the diastolic or the systolic. Both numbers are the lowest that they've been. We started at 159 over 92. And now we're at 142 over 82. The heart rate was 78. We've got the heart rate down to 81 after the True Black. You can see it's got an actual physical effect on me too, obviously. I'm going to hit it again and see if it has even more of an effect on my heart rate, because this only seems to last for a few minutes, but it's obviously healthy, you know? So we want to lower that blood pressure. Let's see what another bong rip of True Black Too Strong does with Jimmy and Billy and Billy and Jimmy. That's seriously, it's Jimmy and Billy and Billy and Jimmy.
So many Jimmys.
Yeah, 2 Jimmys, 2 Billies.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I did Bad Blue Jaws. And a political outsider is not talking anymore.
OG 420 Jr.
Yeah, that's all.
Cheers.
Cheers, all of you. Almost 30
Hash.
of you watching this.
And hash, sir.
Watching real science. Watching real science happen right now. Cheers.
Billy Bong Thornton. Right, why don't they do real tests like this? Well, we got it from Nay Live.
You can't believe what they're telling you in these tests, in these studies. When you see something, it's like Bad Blue Jaws says, these same study comes out right before every election. You know? He says that over there in the Rumble, sir. He's right. He also said, study these nuts. I agree, bro. We do the science, bro, because we don't accept the narrative. And they're sitting there calling it weed. I know there's a problem already. If you're referring to cannabis as weed, there's a problem. You know, you're trying to paint a negative picture of it, obviously. It's a couple extra letters, call it cannabis, don't be lazy. You're not cool. You look like an idiot. And we know what you're trying to do. But, you know, we've got the ability to test things out for ourselves on a very small scale. And you guys are more than welcome to try these little tests at home, you know? Get yourself one of these. See for yourself, man. So we've come to find out that waiting a minute or two seems to be the best and the lowest time to take the blood pressure. So it's 10:31. We'll wait till it says 10:32. I'll relax here, and then we'll take that blood pressure and see where it's at.
Billy Bong Thornton. Wonder what dabs or edibles would do. I'm gonna try edibles and take logs.
Yeah, do it. Do it. All right, guys, here we go.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now. Your systolic blood pressure is 147 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 98 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 86 beats per minute.
So it went up. I'm surprised. So the
Billy Ballantyne.
but it didn't go up that much. 147.
Rectal temperature 98.8 Ds.
147 over 98. So that 98 is a problem, huh? That's the highest we've seen. 98, man. That's like, you need to call the freaking emergency room.
Jimmy Carter. What else do you have to try?
I better take my blood pressure again. That's the first thing I'm going to do right now because it just said I'm 147 over 98. I think that's
not good.
That's doing the opposite of what I was hoping it was. It just said 82. And now it says 98. Alright, let's do this again. Maybe I'll put this on again, you know? I'll put it on tighter.
Billy Ballantyne.
Here we go.
Wrap it around your neck and see if you can take it.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now. Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 148 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 91 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 85 beats per minute.
Okay, so let's write that down. It's gone back down a little bit. 148 over 91, and it's 85 beats per minute. So that 91 is back down. That's right under where we started, but the 148's nice and low. It was 159 when we started. 159 over 92. And now we're at 148 over 91. That's an improvement, except the heart rate does increase. You know, that seems pretty obvious that the heart rate increases like that.
Dale Young. Possibly a Chinese-made blood pressure machine.
I don't think so.
Yeah, what's your point, bro? Trying to say something? You got something against Chinese-made blood pressure machines, bro? Why are you dissing my Chinese-made blood pressure machine, bro?
Jimmy Carter. True dat, some machines give false readings.
Oh, hello, yes. I shall see here. This was manufactured in China, yes. Absolutely. Made in China. From a German company that manufactures in China. Hamburg, Germany.
Dale Young.
Made in China.
Surprise.
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 I mean, where else did you think it was going to be manufactured in? Did things from China not work or
Jimmy
something?
Carter. Germany, yeah.
Hey man, this is made in China too, I'm sure. Look at that. That's what I call sturdy manufacturing, bro. Look at that. That'll do that at least 26 times before it breaks. 6 times before it breaks. Alright. Now I'm laughing. I'm going to have a high blood pressure reading. You're making me laugh. What kind of a science is this? Let me take another one and see where I'm at.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
Dale Young. There is definitely quality Chinese, but ass loads of junk.
Oops.
Jimmy Carter. We need more flour. What other strains do you have? Hash. Citizen Science.
Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 127 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is
Billy
90
Ballantyne.
millimeter of mercury
The quality
pillar.
Chinese,
Your
he's
heart
referring
rate
to his egg
is
rolls.
89 beats per minute.
127 over 91. 89 blood pressure. Now, that was crazy and off, so let's try it again.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
Billy Ballantyne. That thing is broke, or you clenched your butt hole.
Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 138 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 79 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 84 beats per minute.
Whoa. $138 over 79. 84. That's nice and low, 138 over 79, man. I like what I'm seeing here. Let's go again.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart
It
level.
just seems too good to be
Start
true.
measurement now.
Billy Ballantyne. If you keep going at this pace, you'll have no blood pressure by 11 a.m.
That just means you haven't done it.
Jimmy Carter. Woosah.
Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 133 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 83 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 79 beats per minute.
Wow, 159 over 92 is down to 133 over 85, guys. And a 78 is at 79 now. But if I'm not moving around and joking around and stuff, this is really interesting. True black.
Jimmy Carter.
Too strong.
It said 83, you put 85.
You're right. You're right. My bad. Good job on that, man. 133 over 83. 79. I have number dyslexia. I do stuff like that all the time. I have a real problem with numbers. That's why I have to write shit down. Even when I'm writing it down, I get it wrong. I lose money because of that and shit, you know.
That would be bad.
Crypto's been teaching me a lot about math. True black, too strong. Okay, man, so we're down to 133 over 83. I want to hit this again and see if it has more of a potent effect if I smoke more of it. So 133 over 83, 79 beats per minute.
Dale Young. Not sure. Is 120/70 ideal?
Yeah, 120 over 70 would be great. For me, 138 over 79 is spectacular. If I go to a doctor, it'll test lower than all of this. These always run a little higher than what a doctor's one tests me at.
Megsy Williams. Cheers.
The last one I was having at the doctor's was weird too, so I asked the lady to do it by hand, and she did, the nurse. I was like, will you just time it with the clock? And she's like, yeah. She had the blood pressure, the hand thing.
Yeah, I usually get
She had to go find it.
Dale Young.
She's like, we don't even
Hate
have.
when I get white coat
We
fever
never
at the
use
doc
those
office.
anymore, she said. I was like, yeah, I know. I just don't trust this thing. All right, no longer going to cannabis. Cheers, Jim. Cheers, Dale. Cheers, Megsy. Cheers, Bebe Blue Draws, Political Outsider. Everybody that's in the sphere. This rumble sphere. Cheers. That makes me yawn. That seems pretty relaxed. Let's go ahead and see what happens.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now. Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 136 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 85 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 87 beats per minute.
136 over 85 at 87. So I'm not noticing yet. Let's do it again. I'm not noticing
Attention, please.
a cumulative
Silent
effect
and relaxed.
of smoking the
Keep the
cannabis.
cuff at heart level.
Just the first
Start
initial
measurement now.
bong rips seem to have the most effect.
Measurement over.
What kind of
Your
cannabis were
systolic
those people
blood pressure
smoking in that
is
study?
136 millimeter of mercury pillar.
They couldn't tell you.
Your diastolic blood pressure is 87.
Was it healthy cannabis? You know, was it from somebody who was poisoning them with bullshit? You know, you don't know.
Per minute.
I bet they don't. They have no idea. 136 over 87, and the pulse is 85.
Jimmy Carter. Was math. Restream.io. Congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat.
It's staying down. I mean, it's climbing. That 85 went to 87, and the heart rate went down a little bit. Maybe we'll wait till 10:53 for the next one. Another minute. This is an interesting
Jimmy Carter.
test.
I bet they used Mr. Smiley in the study.
You know, it just depends. All these people are using different products, consuming different ways, and just saying, yeah, I use cannabis every day. I use it once a week. I use it once a month. I use it once. What was that one? I use it a couple of times every 3 months. It's weird. Okay, man, here we go. Let's try this again.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now.
Jimmy Carter. You guys remember Mr. Smiley? People were having heart attacks and strokes, the fake at the gas stations.
Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 127 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 81 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 82 beats per minute.
Wow. We had a 127 over 91 before, but now we've got a 127 over 81. Psh. How the batteries doing this? This should show like a battery. I don't know what that does. It's got a cute little speaker on the side of it though. It's funny. How do you know when it's... Oh, is that the No. Is that the batteries right there? Like maybe if I put new batteries in it, it would be better, but... All right. Here we go. One more try.
Attention, please. Please keep silent and relax. Keep the cuff at heart level. Start measurement now. Measurement over. Your systolic blood pressure is 135 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your diastolic blood pressure is 87 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your heart rate is 80 beats per minute.
135 over 87. Heart rate 80. Okay. So it had, somewhat of an effect. It is the exact opposite of what the CDC claims. And to say the heart rate increases, we noticed a heart rate increase of, on average, I would say, 8 beats or less on average. So that would be it, an increased heart rate, but a drop in blood pressure. That's good.
Jimmy Carter.
They're lying.
CDC equals liars.
And we just did the experiment right here, man. And anybody that says this is a new study that's coming out, right? You could point them to this video right here, and people can watch me take my own blood pressure and judge for themselves if they want to believe the CDC or believe me from smoking cannabis and just taking my own
Jimmy
blood
Carter.
pressure.
Liars, manipulators, untruthful.
There you go, everybody. So, you know, one other thing I want to point to is the market right now is looking pretty cool. Look at this. A lot of green going on. Our 343 is the daily high, and we're very close to that at 245. It's nice to see a recovery happening, though, is what I'm saying. There's definitely a recovery going on there. So my blood pressure started 159 over 92. The pulse was 78. We ended up at 135 over 87 at the very end after several bong rips. So Harmony's still down at 2 cents, 2. It's not even 2.5 cents. So if you got in now, if Harmony got to 5 cents, you double your money at 5 cents. Anyway, look for that for sure, guys. You can see it's all riding together for the most part. VRA went to the top of the chart for some reason. Where is it now? It's not there anymore. Holy moly, where did it go? There it is. It's way down here now. Cool, so it went back down. So I didn't miss out on anything. VRA was all the way up near the top of the chart this morning. It was number 2. And I was like, holy shit, it was at 0.0077. Now it's at 0072. It got up to 0078. That was the high. I saw it at 77. I was like, oh, is it going to start going up now? Nope. So, I'm still glad that I didn't buy into it, man. Because I wanted to get a whole bunch of that. I thought it was going to go up. And it's just gone down. It's made me actually happy that I didn't get it, but sad that I was wrong about it. Check your coffee, man. Nothing keeps a show going like a cup of coffee.
That's it.
Hashtag check your coffee. Unreal. I wonder if she's gonna reply to me. Oh shit! What? Psst, unreal. Psh. One reply. Wait, what? What do you mean one reply? It says replies.
Stephen Running.
I said.
Hashtag check your coffee.
There's no replies. I said at 11:30, you say being vaxxed reduces your chance of catching COVID. This has been debunked multiple times. Where is your data to back this statement up? I'm hoping she responds to that. Vaccination does reduce your chances of being infected, someone said to me. Where is your data that says otherwise? Multiple times, please. They got 5 thumbs ups in response to me. I got no thumbs ups. Dude, I don't have to provide that information. It's out there. I don't have to provide the data. It's out there. So I'm going to Google it. He says vaccination reduces your chance of being infected with COVID. I would say to look at it this way. People who are vaccinated have a false sense of security, are probably running around, probably have a better chance of catching it because they're not being as safe as people who aren't, I would think. Just doing this, you know? But physically, I have never heard that getting vaccinated reduces your risk of catching it. I haven't heard that in a long time. That was a myth. It's been debunked. What they say is if you have the vax, you have a better opportunity of surviving if you're in a risk group, and you'll have reduced effects of COVID if you're vaccinated, and it won't be as severe. But not that you have a lower chance of catching it. I haven't heard that. So, I mean, that was what they said at first, and then when people were like, hey man, that's a lot of people getting vaxxed are catching COVID. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, we were wrong about that. Oh, well, she just said that it does greatly reduce your chance of catching it if you're vaxxed. She just said it on one of her videos. So I want to see what she says about that. If she's a science person, I think that's a legitimate question.
In fact, reduce your chances of getting COVID. So we would expect more unvaccinated people.
Did you hear that? Right at 11:30, man. Here, 11:22.
Then. Secondly, contrary to what some people claim, being vaccinated does in fact reduce your chances of getting COVID. So
being vaccinated does reduce your chance of getting COVID. I don't believe her. I think she's wrong. I'm asking for the data that backs that up. Everything that I've heard lately says the exact opposite of that. It doesn't reduce your chance of catching it. We can't talk about this on YouTube, so whatever. This is stupid. Where is your data that says otherwise? Alright, whatever. You guys take care. I'll see you on the next show. Love y'all. It'll be this tonight, 3-ish, I don't know, maybe 4, I don't know, maybe 5, I don't know, maybe later. Love you guys. Bye. I'm at Naysgarden on Twitter. At Naysgarden Show on Twitter if you want to get notified every time I go live. Okay.